So then when we're being forced to wear a mask, and I say that because there is a forcible law here in California where if you're within a certain distance of people at the beach, even, you have to wear a mask at the beach. I've never experienced this. I've been on the planet 40 years. I've never experienced this ever in my lifetime. And I'm curious how you see this from an immune perspective, from a microbial perspective, from just us being in the healthy bacteria that you spoke about. Is that actually hurting us to wear these masks so much?
Oh, I'm 100% confident it's hurting us, for sure, for sure. And it's just a tool. It's a tool used by the government to maintain the fear and the submission. So that's how I look at it. I had a dentist appointment earlier this week, my biological dentist here in Seattle, and I walked in there and they're all just gowned up and geared up, and it's just ridiculous, like a war zone. They're like, you need to wear a mask. And I said, well, I'm healthy. I've been tested, of antibody testing. I've got COVID testing, and I take care of my health. I'm fine. She's like, no, by law, you need to wear it in our building. So not to piss them off or get them in trouble, I put it on.
Yeah.
I said, well, your masks here, these are worthless, by the way, because they're not N95. And research shows that if it's not N95, if I cough or speak, these masks are going to do nothing for the person that's standing next to me. And the guy looks at me. Another customer of theirs, a patient, looks at me and he goes, well, it's going to protect me from your cough. I was like, no, it's not.
And
no,
why isn't it from a medical view?
It's the size of the holes in the masks are not sufficient. Viruses are tiny, and it's not sealed everywhere. It's going to blow out. Why it might not be completely straight, maybe you'll minimize a little bit of it. The pores and the masks are not sufficient. And again, I'm not a mask expert. I haven't focused on this. I did ask Judy Mikovits about it. And Judy goes, hell no, I'm not wearing a mask. And this is on my Facebook, the interview that I did with her at 10 o'clock at night. I just gave her a buzz real quick and turned it into a Facebook Live. I said, hey, can we record our phone call? She said, sure.
Yeah.
She goes, look, my husband is COPD, and he cannot wear that mask. And we have a label on his chest saying that he has COPD, and he's, a mask will kill him. So, and she goes, all you're doing is exhaling and re-inhaling the old toxic air. I mean, exhaling is waste. It's a waste product. It's waste gas. And so, when we breathe solvents too, and we exhale solvents. So in solvents are these compounds like gasoline and a bunch of other things that you cannot see, but we exhale them. And you smell people's breath sometimes, right? It smells kind of like ammonia or acetone.
Especially if they're keto.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they're re-inhaling that back in again. And so now that's more work again for the body to deal with it. And so the accumulation of these gases, which should be expelled, are staying within the system. And not only that, but, we have all sorts of stuff flying in the air that, helps the diversity of our microbiome. There's bacteria flying in this air right now that, are good for me.
Yeah.
And there's viruses that are probably not. I can't go into full on detail on scientific. I'm not your guy for that. But from a naturopathic perspective, nothing on this planet should be wearing a mask. We have our own immune defenses. We should have a diverse microbiome in our nose and our mouth and, in everywhere else. We should have our glutathione in check. And it's basically, this whole coronavirus thing is basically showing that, we're a sick population, and a vaccine is not the answer.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to do? The next infection comes out, you're going to keep us inside until you develop a vaccine for that too. And then the next one and the next one and the next one.
Well, that is, in my opinion, in the research I've done, that is the plan where the conspiracy theory channel says, this is the plan, they're going to bring it in waves. Look, I don't know. The reality is we don't really know what's going on from a control perspective. But what I do feel, and especially when we look at the Model Health Show with Sean Stevenson and Mike Mutzel from High Intensity Health, and many of my colleagues in this space, they're all bringing on the best of the best like yourself to talk about the truth right now. And the truth is, in the absence of facts, of hardcore facts, and in the presence of doubt, Where do we go? Where do we look for the truth? I think we're all feeling this connection to our heart, to our own decision-making faculty. We're being forced to make our own decisions instead of just drink from the well that's poisoned.